going on, YouTube? RDAP Dan here. Federal Prison Time Consulting, live from Key West. Just wanted to say good morning to everybody. Wish you guys all a happy 4th of July 2019. Life gets better, I promise. This isn't the end for many of you. It's just the beginning. A long, long journey. I'm up here in Key West with Shelly and my kids. We're sleeping right now. So I decided to take, not sleeping, but actually getting ready, I should say. So I decided to take this opportunity to come chat with you guys, see how everybody's doing. Mark, what's going on? I'm being very safe. I'm driving around on my little gem here. I think that's what it's called. A little electric car. Rented it for the island. Not really driving. I've got a big old X5 that doesn't get around too well on the island. So what do you guys got going on? Anything great for the 4th of July? I was just talking to a client who's self-surrendering tomorrow. And I know right now it feels like the weight is on your shoulders. How hot is it there? It's pretty hot, but I love the heat. Remember, we live in a tropical island, guys. South Florida, Keys. It's a tropical island with electricity, basically. So if you can imagine any tropical type of an island with tons of humidity, that's where I live. That's how hot it is. It's like in the 90s. Feels like in the hundreds. But I'm talking to a client, self-surrendering tomorrow. Real nervous, real kind of down and out right now. Trying to stay positive. And, you know, I understand it's easier to say just stay positive and keep a good attitude. Even though that's what you ultimately have to do, it doesn't mean you're not going to have moments where it gets a little hard, a little trying. But I'm telling you, I was in your position. I felt like the world was over for me. Life was over. I thought I was never going to be doing any of these things again. I thought my career would end. Financial would be a struggle for the rest of my life. I felt like I wasn't going to be able to rebuild my family. I felt like people wouldn't understand. I felt like people wouldn't give me a second chance. I really just had this overwhelming fear of the unknown, right? We hear about that all the time. Fear of the unknown is absolutely the worst thing in the world to dwell on. But listen, I got out of prison the end of basically 2016 really is when I got released. I got released the very end of 2015. Then I had to do 11 months in a federal halfway house. So my life didn't really start until 2017. So from 2017 to now, 2019, I completely turned my life around. I've built a career for myself. I've rebuilt my family ties. I'm having an amazing time with my life, living an awesome journey, having the ability to help so many individuals that are potentially facing the toughest time of their life. Here I am from Key West, not making millions of dollars. I'm budgeting my life. I'm living the life the way I want to live. I feel like I'm living life that I deserve, and I'm telling you guys that you can also do the same thing. You just got to realize it's baby steps. It's one foot in front of the other, and when you do these things for the right reason, and you realize that right now certain things are outside of your control, like potentially getting sentenced, going to prison, things like that are out of your control. But you can still maintain a solid mindset, do what's necessary, put in the work, put in the effort, start preparing, start building your roadblocks or your roadmap for what you're going to do, and realize that there's going to be many roadblocks that are going to prevent you or try to prevent you. You can call them what you want. You can call them demons. You can call it the devil. You can call it your own worst enemy inside of you, your ability to want to try to give up and believe that you're not going to be able to have the type of life that you want to have. And a lot of that comes from woe is me, the victim mentality. Even though you all say you don't want nobody to feel sorry for you, we all do. We all want somebody to feel bad for us, specifically the judge. We want the judge to say, man, you're not that bad of a person, Dan or John or Amy, whoever out there is getting ready to get sentenced right now. You want to somehow feel like the judge is going to have sympathy for you, and it's very unlikely that they're not. It's just part of the reality. This little electric gem only does 25 miles an hour. And that's pretty much the going speed for any of the little golf carts, minus the scooter. I did want to rent a scooter, but we didn't rent the scooter because I've got my children with me. And even though they're 19 and 17, they don't have driver's licenses because they live in New York City. So we couldn't rent scooters because they're not able to drive them. So I got a nice little 4-seater electric car. Price isn't bad. It's like, I think it's like $300 for the weekend, 48 hours basically, something like that. But again, it's 4th of July, so I'm sure the prices are marked up a little bit. But tonight we're gonna go sit on the beach. We're gonna watch the fireworks together. These things that you really crave, like spending time with your family, and you imagine yourself going to prison and missing out on family. That's a reality. You're gonna have that happen for a little while. But I tell you what, you have to make sure that right now you're living in the moment and you're allowing yourself to enjoy your family time. And more importantly, you have to realize that you're gonna have your family time again. You're gonna be back out there with your family. You have to be able to remember what you're going through right now. Find something to hold on to, just like I do. I got the RDAP band bracelet on, which was the replica of what they give you in RDAP. Every time I look down at this, it reminds me of what I did to go to prison, how I thought my mindset was as I was getting ready to go to prison, which was complete victim mentality. And then more importantly, now I look at it as a reminder of what I've been through to get to where I am today and what I don't ever want to go through again. I'm so grateful that I had this experience that many of you are getting to have right now. And that's the lesson you got to take from this is an experience. And it's your choice how you choose to view this experience. You can make this the most miserable, horrible time of your life, or you can mix that horrible, miserable time of your life in, sprinkle it with a little bit of, maybe this is exactly what I fucking need to not ever do this again. That's what I say take from this, is use this to build the most positive experience, positive journey that you can build from this, what seems to be the most horrible time of your life. You're saying goodbye to your family, you're saying goodbye to your wife, you're saying goodbye to your husband. Many of you may get divorced from this. Many of you may not have the same family life that you have right now. You may have to make adjustments, but these are necessary adjustments that you have to make. You have no choice. You can't stick your head in the sand and pretend like what you're going through doesn't exist, because all that's going to do is it's going to make everything sneak up on you, and it's going to bite you in the ass at the last minute when you're not prepared, and then you have to go off to prison and you don't really know what to do. Spend time now with your family, getting your affairs in order, building a plan, what you're going to do, really drawing out the roadmap. Look at career opportunities that you may have with a felony conviction on your record. And just because you read one asshole out there saying, if you got a conviction on your record, you can't do this. It may be the reality, but I see many people that are told they can't do something, and they do enough research, enough due diligence, and they find out that they can do something. So don't give up just because you hear one no or two no's. You do got to face reality at some point. If it's something you just can't do, you got to move on to something else. But don't give up because people tell you that you can't do something. People told me I wasn't going to get an RDAP. People told me I wouldn't get the Second Chance Act. People told me I wouldn't cut my probation in half. I did everything that people told me I couldn't do. So I'm every day living proof that you can defy odds. You can't defy reality. Reality is your reality. You got to face the facts at some point. But at the end of the day, you can defy odds. You can stack things into your favor. You just got to be willing to work for it, my man or my lady. A lot of you have got children. You don't know what to say to them. You don't know how to deal with them. I'm telling you, be honest with them. Be an open book. Be transparent. Tell them what you're going through. Tell them what they can expect. I'm not sure if it's in well, it's not going to be in the title of this video. I'll add it in later, or in the description, I mean. But I'm telling you that if you've got children, I did a video with my daughter Lauren, I don't know, 2 months ago or so. And she wants to come on and do more videos. Just waiting for her to get set up in New York a little bit better. But the point is she talks about what it was like for her, what the struggles were for her, things that she wishes I'd done different, things that she wishes she had done different. She also talks about how me going to prison had direct effects on her and indirect effects on her later on, and her sister too. So, this by no means is this going to be some easy journey. But I tell you, if you put one foot in front of the other, and you make the right choices now, and you do things for the right reason, once it all settles down, once the dust clears, you're going to look back and you're going to know that you did everything that you could have done to make this the best possible outcome, whatever that might mean. A shorter sentence, probation, better family ties than what you currently have now. And that's one of the main lessons that I've learned from everything that I've been through, guys, is if you prepare now and you really think about what you can do to mitigate your sentencing, what can you do to shorten your sentence? What can you do to increase your chances for qualifying for programs like RDAP, Second Chance Act, First Step Act? You're going to hear so many pie-in-the-sky stories when you get ready to go into prison. There's one right now floating around, this company Oaks of Justice. I can't say 100% that it's a scam, but I don't have any faith in it, just based on the idea of basically Oaks of Justice is run mostly of ex-felons who went to prison, which there's nothing wrong with that, but they've got this program that they claim to be able to have people return home immediately, even if they have 3 to 5 years left on their sentence, and do it on home confinement under this work furlough program. And right now there is zero contract with the BOP. The BOP doesn't even know they exist. At least the individuals that matter don't know that they exist. But yet they're claiming that people are potentially going to get approved within a couple of weeks or a couple of months, and they don't even have a meeting set up with anybody within the BOP yet. As a matter of fact, they have a lobbyist. Supposedly they're paying a lobbyist. They've still got to pay him another $160,000 or $180,000 in order to get a meeting with somebody that might be able to help push this agenda to somehow get it approved within the BOP. And that's just a maybe. That's a big giant maybe. Do you know how many maybes there are within the BOP? Do you know how many bills get submitted every year and such a small percentage actually ever get seen? And then out of those ones that get seen, even a smaller percentage even pass. So for this Oaks of Justice, we got roosters everywhere in the Keys. Little chickens and roosters running around. It's kind of neat. Everybody thinks this company is legit, and it's within the BOP because that's how they're making people feel. So I say, do not fall for it. Even though they're not taking any money from anybody, they're building false hope. Having hope in prison is very important because it keeps you going from day to day to day, especially when you've got a little bit of a lengthier sentence. The last thing you want to do is just sit down and go, okay, I got 15 years to do. I'm not going to try to do anything to mitigate or shorten my sentence. And that can be a very sinking feeling. So everybody wants to hold on to the glimmer of hope while they're in prison, thinking, this might get me out, this might get me out. But I'm telling you, Oaks of Justice, I'd be willing to bet the farm that not only is it never going to get approved, that there's a hidden agenda that we just don't know what it is yet, that this company may be trying to take advantage. Some of the individuals that are involved, they're involved for fraud, not too far off of the kind of claims that they're making right now, which is red alert for me. Danger, Will Robinson, run for the hills. It sounds too good to be true, guys. It usually is. I'm not going to say it's always that way. There are some situations where, again, you got to really put in the work and put in the hope, and hope that you can kind of defy the odds. So I'm not saying that just because it sounds too good to be true doesn't mean it won't happen. I just don't have any faith in it at this point. I've been around long enough, not just in life, but dealing directly with the BOP, what individuals go through, and I don't see this as something that is ever going to come to light. I've had several conversations with the directors of this company. They've got a great sales pitch, but when I spoke to the lobbyist, and the lobbyist kind of broke it down to me. We did a video on Oaks of Justice, and it's got all that information. If you just type in Oaks of Justice, RDAP Dan, you'll find the video. Did it a couple days back. When I spoke to the lobbyist basically told me there is no actual date in mind for this to maybe become an actual reality, because they don't even have a date set up right now for a meeting with anybody from Congress. They have no political pull. Zero. Absolutely zero. The lobbyist, in my opinion, his incentive to do this is he's got $160,000 coming to him if it can be raised. They were potentially going to have one of my clients pay it. One of my clients was more than willing to pay it, but they couldn't answer some of the hard questions like, if we paid this money, if my client forked up the $160,000, what's the likelihood that this program is going to be approved? And they kept saying, oh, it's going to be approved. The BOP has to approve it, blah, 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 all of these things. But when we got into the facts of it, like, okay, I understand you're saying they have to, but how? Why do they have to? Who's going to make them do it? And the reality is, when you carved out all the bullshit and you got down to just the raw bone, you just chew up the meat and spit out the bones, what was left was possibly they're going to be able to get a meeting that is going to cost $100,000 or so to get a meeting. And then maybe the people that did the meeting would pass this and push it. It's just so far-fetched that I think it's just money-hungry individuals that once again are profiting off of people's fear, willing to do whatever it is they want to do. Zero faith from RDAP Dan. Not that it means anything. So don't take my word for it. Do your own research, guys. It's very important. We're going to go drive by the southernmost point here in a second. So if you guys want to, in case you've never been there, you can be there in real time right now. I should have taken a picture of that. That should have been the thumbnail. Key West is awesome. It's beautiful. For those of you that are from like Palm Beach County, Florida, if you've ever been to downtown Lake Worth definitely tries to have a very Keys type of a vibe. Everybody here is so damn nice. Everybody out there is taking pictures. We're coming up to the southernmost point right now. See if we can get a shot of it for you guys. There's an actual line. Let's see if you guys can see it. That's the southernmost point right there. These are all the people waiting in line to get a picture with the southernmost point. Let's put this back in here. I just passed a law in Florida, literally this month. No texting and driving. Is this considered texting and driving? It didn't say no YouTubing and driving. There's a chicken. You guys want to see the chickens? Yeah, I'm a fan of Key West. We used to come here a lot back in my day. Back in my day of running my criminal enterprise. Feels good to be here when I feel like I've earned it. But different lifestyle, guys, different lifestyle. I'm much happier in life now, happier than I've ever been. Money does not buy happiness. I don't care what anybody says. Do you need money to survive? Of course you do. No one's stupid. No one's saying go live out of your car or, be a vagabond. But money doesn't buy happiness. And you guys are realizing that right now. Most of you, whatever you did to get yourselves in trouble, would trade it for the world. You'd give it all back just to have your freedom. Give everything back, fancy cars, fancy houses, go live in a one-bedroom apartment instead of dealing with what you guys are going through right now. Man, we got roosters everywhere. What's up, rooster? I feel like I can talk to him. Oh, it's awesome. Hope you guys are having a great day. We're gonna go, we didn't think to bring chairs with us. I don't know what I was thinking, because we're gonna go watch fireworks tonight, obviously, on the beach. So now I gotta go buy chairs. They're probably gonna have price gouging on these chairs. I'm betting $30, $40 for a beach chair. I'm gonna have to read the messages later, guys. I apologize, I can't see while I'm driving here. It's sun's in my eyeballs. We got this trolley coming up. Maybe you guys will see the trolley pass me. It's like Mr. Rogers' trolley there. But yeah, I just want you guys to have the confidence, the wherewithal, and the deep inner feeling of your life is not over. So don't think that it's over. Take your time, do a little mourning if you need to. It's okay to get mad. It's okay to put your face in a pillow and scream, or go to the gym and hit the bag a few times, knock out some push-ups, some jumping jacks, whatever you're gonna do to get rid of your frustration. Listen to some crazy music, crazy dance. Get up and just throw your hands around, do something silly, make yourself laugh, make yourself realize that this is not the end of the world for you guys. And once you do that, then it's time to get up and do what's necessary and realize that what you do have in your control is what you do next. How are you mentally preparing for the journey that you're going to go on? And remember, you're not going on this journey alone. Your friends, your family, your kids, people that support you, they're right there along with this, going through this with you. And if they see you breaking down, trust me, they are not going to know what to do. They already feel helpless. They already feel like they're watching you die with some terminal illness, that they're walking on eggshells around you. They don't want to upset you. They don't want to say the wrong thing, almost to a point where they borderline probably avoid you. So if you start displaying a positive attitude and engaging in the conversation with them and asking them, what questions do you have about me going to federal prison? What is it like for you to watch somebody get ready to go? And they might tell you it seems so unfair and you're such a good guy and you're such a good woman. And that's when you say, well, not really, because if I was, I wouldn't have did the things that I did. Now, I'm sure some of you out there are innocent, but we all know that 99% of individuals that are watching this video are not innocent. And just because you're guilty of something doesn't mean you should go to prison. Yes, no, maybe so. That's not our job, that's the judge's job, right? The reality is we did something that got ourselves into this situation, and now you've got to do something to A, try to get yourself possibly out of it, but more importantly, you've got to do something that's going to help yourself deal with the reality of the situation without just sitting there thinking how unfair this is, and how everybody else's fault, how it's the person that told on you's fault, or it's the prosecutor's fault because they don't like you, or it's your attorney's fault because they're not a good attorney, or the judge just sentences everybody. All of these bullshit excuses you say, you need to smack yourself in the face and realize that by you doing that, it's you not taking any responsibility, because if you're to take any responsibility at all, it means you got to face the bullshit that you did. And until you face the bullshit you did and really own it, beyond some bullshit acceptance or responsibility in order to get a shorter sentence, forget about prison, look at what you did, look at what you did wrong, look at what you would do different if you had the opportunity to do it all over again. And if you can honestly tell yourself, I see what I did wrong, I know what I would do, that's your first phase of growing through the situation that you got yourselves in. That's all I got for you guys from Key West. It's my 9 a.m. upbeat ritual of the day, 4th of July. I think I spoke to you guys last 4th of July too. We didn't go anywhere. I think we just hung out at the house from Spokane. There's nowhere to go in Spokane. It's just God, I don't want to talk bad about Spokane because it was great for me. But man, oh man, I'm so happy to be out of there. And I don't even know where I'm at right now. I'm in Key West driving down little local neighborhoods. Just hanging out with the chickens. I think I'm going the right direction. All right, guys, you have a fantastic 4th of July. I really do love all of you guys. I know I say that, and you're probably like, he doesn't really love us. No, I really do. I don't know many of you personally. I don't have a personal relationship with 99% of you, but some of you I do. And for those of you that I know personally and those of you that I don't know personally, my compassion for what you guys are going through is real. So I really do mean it when I say that I love every single one of you. And I want you to be able to love yourself. And I want you to be able to accept the gratitude and the love from your friends and family and realize that you can't do this alone. Don't feel like you can solve all of your own problems. Get to church, find God, find Jesus, pick up a book, start putting that positive energy in your life, guys. I really do hope the best for everybody. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Go watch some fireworks. Be safe. Hope nobody loses a finger on the 4th of July. That wouldn't be fun. But you guys be safe out there. Spend it with your family. Don't spend it sitting in your bed crying, thinking how unfair this is. All right? I'm RDAP Dan, Federal Prison Time Consulting. People helping people. Community is method. One day at a time. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Peace out. Don't forget to give a thumbs up on this. I only see 2. I know it's early. But give me a thumbs up when you guys watch this. Later, everybody. Bye.